Welcome to the 2023-24 WIDA Updates for North Carolina presentation. This recorded slide deck is provided to help educators prepare for administering WIDA screeners and the WIDA Access for ELLs and Alternate Access for ELLs assessments during this school year. I'm Wendy Wooten, and I work with Testing Policy and Operations in the Office of Accountability and Testing. My work supports training and guidance to adhere to policies and best practices for administering these assessments. In this presentation, we'll spend a little time looking at who WIDA and DRC are to help build background for those individuals who may be new. We'll take a look at the technical enhancements occurring this year, how and when North Carolina educators should complete screener certifications, and then information that will be helpful in preparing for access testing this year. For anyone in the audience who may have limited experience with multilingual and English learners, which are abbreviated as ML and EL, and the required testing for students identified as ML or EL in North Carolina, I've included content on this slide to help build background. The consortium that North Carolina is a member of, along with 40 other states, is called WIDA. WIDA operates through the University of Wisconsin and creates and publishes our screening assessments and the Access and Alternate Access for ELLs assessments. They are also involved in carrying out many other assessment-related activities. Data Recognition Corporation, which I'll refer to as DRC, is a vendor who partners with WIDA to manage the testing systems, such as the servers and the online testing platform, the material management for access and alternate access testing, and that includes shipping and receiving materials, scanning paper booklets for scoring, and the transmission of all records, as well as managing the data for each member state's tests to generate student reports and state data files. These tasks are just a few of the functions that DRC completes in our testing cycle process. WIDA and DRC have implemented a set of technical updates in the system used to house the test sessions and student data for WIDA Screener and Access for ELLs online tests. This system is called WIDA Assessment Management System, or WIDA AMS for short. A set of technical enhancements has also been loaded into the platform that delivers the test experience for Screener and Access, which is called DRC Insight. The user experience in both systems will shift slightly this year. WIDA AMS users will note new terminology this year, as well as new resources to help navigate these enhancements. And the training courses will also be updated to include these technical changes. The most important change this year will be that educators may need more time completing tasks in WIDA AMS as they become familiar with the new workflows and menu designs for the processes in the system. Please consider allowing additional time as you're preparing for your work this year. In addition to the many resources that will be outlined in this presentation, WIDA released a new publication on their website titled Get Ready for 2023-24 Updates to WIDA AMS and DRC Insight, as seen here in the screen snag on the right. You can navigate to this article and read all about the updates by navigating to the WIDA homepage, clicking About at the upper right, and then News to locate this particular article. For educators who have used the WIDA AMS system in the past, you'll note some new terminology. Specifically, what used to be test sessions are now referred to as registrations. The user experience for the student management, test management, and report delivery features within WIDA AMS will also shift slightly. One important change that I'd like to draw your attention to is that DRC will now only house 3 years of score reports in WIDA AMS for WIDA Screener and Access for ELLs. These 3 years will include the current year plus the 2 previous years. The best way for educators who use WIDA AMS to become familiar with these technical changes is to listen to the pre-recorded webinar titled DRC Technical Enhancements for 2023-24 which can be accessed in the WIDA Secure portal. The screen snag here at the bottom of the slide helps you see what this looks like when you filter for the webinar within the portal. DRC Insight, the system that delivers the test to students, has also had technical enhancements. The student user experience has shifted slightly, and this slide highlights a few changes at a very high level. The repositioning of the back and next buttons into the upper left of the student's test screen, additional magnification options, and alternate background colors are highlighted here. These changes align the test delivery with industry best practices, making the screener and access test accessible for students who utilize screen readers and keyboard navigation to complete these test sessions. There's also a new microphone check that has been simplified and offers instant feedback to let students know if the microphone is capturing the student's spoken response. All of these technical enhancements for the DRC Insight system are displayed and explained in the recorded webinar listed here at the bottom of your screen, which is found in the WIDA Secure portal. Starting on June 30th, test administrators should take advantage of test demos, test practice, and online sample items to become familiar with the changes to DRC Insight. The technical updates in WIDA AMS and DRC Insight will be available in each respective system on June 30th, along with the updated test demos, test practice, and online sample items that will help educators understand the changes that are present in the DRC Insight system. The test demos, test practice, and online sample items can be accessed through the WIDA website. There are also resources that will be available for educators to use that will support the navigation of these technical enhancements. Beginning June 30th, the updated WIDA AMS user guide will be available for download and reference, as well as a new online help feature. The next few slides will outline our state's screener certification requirements for the 2023-24 school year. The WIDA Screener for Kindergarten training course will remain unchanged for the 23-24 school year. Therefore, educators who will administer this screener in the 23-24 school year will need to complete the training course in the WIDA Secure portal after July 1st in order to be certified to administer the screener for the year. If you're administering this screener to students, be sure to provide your local leadership with your certificate of completion. Your public school unit test coordinator will let you know who should receive this certification. Any educator who has a current 2022-23 certification for WIDA Screener grades 1 through 12 may continue to screen students with this certification through the end of September. After October 2nd, any educator who will continue to administer the WIDA Screener at grades 1 through 12 throughout the remainder of the year should complete the updated WIDA Screener training course found in the WIDA Secure portal. Again, be sure that you provide your local leadership the certificate of completion for this updated course to continue to be certified for the remainder of the school year. Now we'll take a look at a few slides that will help you look ahead as we plan for access testing in 2023-24. Please mark your calendars. The test window in North Carolina for this year's access testing will be January the 22nd through March 8th, 2024. Between June 30th and August 31st, each of the Access for ELLs training courses listed here will be revised to align with best practices for adult learners, streamline content, and shorten the amount of time that's required to complete each course. During this time, these courses will not be available. The newly revised Access for ELLs Online, Access for ELLs Paper, and Alternate Access for ELLs courses will be available beginning September 1st. Please encourage educators who will serve as test administrators and any support staff to complete this course as we get closer to the opening of our state's test window. Beginning with the 2023-24 year, the Alternate Access for ELLs test will be replaced by a new version of the test which will be named the WIDA Alternate Access. This test was developed from field test activities that occurred during the 2022-23 testing cycle. Educators can access information about this redesigned test through the WIDA Alternate Access Updates webpage, which is linked and shown in the screen snag at the right. When a new test is developed and implemented, the next step usually includes a process known as standard setting. This process uses educators and experts to determine where score ranges should be set for this new test. Be sure that you check out your weekly WIDA communications for more information about how you can volunteer your expertise in the standard setting process. Once the work is complete, the recommended standards, which are the correlating score ranges, are presented to the WIDA Executive Committee for adoption, and then scores are generated using these new standards, and score reports published and distributed to the members of the consortia. The timeline for these activities is highlighted here on the slide. Standard setting will occur in summer 2024, and the reporting of scores and the release of student score reports will occur in fall 2024. This year's Access Test training for PSU level staff will be conducted in the fall and will follow a similar format to the training that was offered during the 2022-23 school year. The training sessions will provide content to PSU level staff who can then train school level staff supporting and administering access assessments during the test window. The training will be hosted jointly by the Offices of Accountability and Testing and Academic Standards and will be followed by a series of office hours in January. These office hours sessions will provide PSU staff an opportunity to have informal conversations, ask questions related to preparing for test sessions, and managing student data as we approach the opening of the Access Test window. Thank you for taking time to listen to this recorded presentation as you embark on preparations for the 2023-24 school year. As you listen to and study the resources outlined in the presentation, which will help you prepare for those changes as they relate to WIDA in North Carolina, questions may arise. Be sure that you address those questions to the individuals who are outlined here. If you're a school-based staff member and you have questions about this content or testing questions, be sure that you address them to your public school unit test coordinator, and also include your public school unit ML or EL coordinator on your email thread. If you're a public school unit ML or EL coordinator with a question related to either this recording or testing, please address those questions first to your public school unit test coordinator. If your public school unit test coordinator can't find the answer for you locally, it will be addressed to your regional accountability office through your test coordinator. This concludes the recorded presentation for the 2023-24 WIDA Updates for North Carolina.